maybe go back and reiterate a little bit. Do you want to put your 2 cents in on that?
Well, I mean, I don't think any opinion has changed on that. I mean, we've been in it for the last 2 seasons. We've been striving to get to that point over the last few seasons, and to suddenly not be in it because we've hit a blip, be it playing at Wembley or just not replacing players that are left with an improved caliber, at least the same, or have we been found out? I don't know. It's disappointing that we're in this spot. There's still a lot of the season to go, but still a lot of big games. And when we've done the fixture comparison, we know full well what we did at the back end of last season, and it's going to take that kind of effort again to even be close to nudging top 4. And yeah, we've absolutely. Is it the end of the world if we're not in it when we open the new stadium? No, it's not. But
it's a big step back.
It's a step backwards, and we want to kick on, and new stadium, opportunity to bring in new players who are curious to see what we're doing and be part of it, kind of stutters a little bit. You've only got one of those 2 components in place, so yeah, it would be disappointing.
Would you view it as inexcusable?
I don't
tough.
think I have the right to say it's inexcusable, but I think I could say unacceptable based on how we've performed. But where do you lay the blame? I don't know. I mean, we are just observers of this journey of Tottenham, and so the Levy out, the Poch out brigade. I don't subscribe to their thinking, but I get frustrated when you know the net worth of Enoch and Joe Lewis, and it's just disappointing that we can't compete right now. But it's a £800 million stadium that's got to be completed and paid for, so I get that too.
It's interesting you say there's still a lot of season left. I've got the fixture list pulled up, and I did some quick math here. If you exclude Juventus in the Champions League, there's only 7 more matches at Wembley.
Hurrah!
So
Wembley hasn't been our problem.
Yeah, no,
I don't know why we're happy about that. We've been good at Wembley. It's a away game.
I'm just saying, but that shows you how rapidly this season. I mean, where's it all gone?
Yeah.
How rapidly this season is kind of going and waning away. As soon as we get through February, it's May will be here before we know it, and we're going to be either scratching our head going, man, what happened, or how did we squeak that out, or getting ready for maybe what could be a very, very interesting Sunday, May 13th at 9 a.m. over here. 3 p.m. fixtures all across the board, and I got a feeling it's going to come down to goal difference. I got a feeling there's going to be a tie, or maybe even 2 or 3 teams.
I don't know. I kind of think it comes down to next. When do we play Liverpool on Sunday?
Next month?
No, I think it comes. I think it comes down. I think the top 4 will come down to that. I mean, we got to do something. And here's what's crazy:
it'll come down to the 2 weeks when we play United, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Top 4 is coming down to that 14-day period.
Well, I think particularly Liverpool because it starts it off. And it's at Anfield, and chairs. I mean, you're well versed in the agony over the years that we've had there. It's never been a place that we've performed, but that could be a catalyst. You go to there, go do something special. It's a bit like the City 2-1 away from 2 seasons ago. Maybe that's it. I mean, the good thing is we got Newport County this weekend, so to a degree you could argue that we've got a week off to rest and get players healthy. And then the Anfield visits the following weekend, right? Did I have that right?
Correct. Yes, on the 4th.
So yeah, Panic in the Disco at Anfield.
That's going to be an amazing
I think it comes down
game.
to there. I think you can kiss top 4 because that's a 6-point swing, right? Is that what they say? Can you say that in English football?
Yeah, you say that.
Okay, all right.
And that's like a 10:30 a.m. start, I think, for us, I believe. Or 10 a.m., something like that.
It's 10:30 for Liverpool.
Who's after that? Is it Man U is next and then Arsenal?
No, it's Arsenal, then Juventus.
Okay. All right.
So Man U is prior.
I will boldly proclaim that if we beat them at Anfield, we will do the Goons, and you could probably even live with a 1-1 draw against United. And
United's before it.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. So that's why I asked. Okay. All right.
Yeah, United midweek, then Liverpool, then Arsenal.
And we have United and Arsenal at home at Wembley. Yep.
Yes.
Liverpool match is huge.
See, you corrected yourself. You almost said home and you changed it to Wembley.
I know. But to Tim's point, I mean, I remember that from a few shows ago. We were sort of lamenting Wembley. We've actually had a pretty good run of form there.
And we have. It's Tim's point. We really have.
Yeah.
Interesting. Pete, who was on the show with us, Pete Hain, at Pete the Boogie on Twitter. Timmy, he asks, why does it hurt so much? We just drew a match away, which is, sometimes a given in the Premier League. You draw away, you win at home. If that is your form all year long, I believe the math is like 76 points or something like that at the end of the year. But when you go to Southampton, particularly, and you have a listener, especially someone as seasoned as Pete, asking this question, why does it hurt so much? Why? Why does it hurt so much?
I think it hurts so much because of what it means for the top 4 race. When you're losing against a team, and this isn't to say Southampton's a bad team, but right now they are in the relegation zone. They're bottom 3. You go and you drop points to a bottom 3 team when everyone else ahead of you who you're fighting with for a top 4 spot has picked up their maximum points. I think that's why it hurts so bad.
What about you, Sammy? Does this one sting a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to get a seat at the cool kids table,
well, also, you look at it. Less than a month ago, we just ran them off the pitch.
Yeah,
5-2.
It's also the inconsistencies and the false dawns. We've talked about that so much over the years, and that you want to kind of get the monkey off your back, and to Chairs said this for seasons, almost on end, and he's absolutely right. These are the matches that you have to win. You can live with a draw in the top 4 fixture if you're consistently beating the Southamptons and the Newcastles, et cetera. So, and especially when you're in a dogfight. And I think that we've been wanting to sort of will this team on. We've been wanting to believe that this team has a top 4, and I'll even further that kind of silverware potential winning identity. So I think those are more reasons why this hurts so bad.
Yeah, I think you compound that too with, there is just that little bit, from Harry Kane saying, listen, I don't think he's going anywhere, but saying, listen, we got to start winning trophies. This is why I'm here. I want to start winning stuff, and I think that across the board, it becomes important. And I don't want to say that it becomes imperative, but it becomes important that we do start filling that trophy cabinet up a little bit, Chairs. Don't you feel?
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it for weeks, and I don't want to wait till next season, and I sound like a broken record, but we've got a chance to win, and let's get ourselves in the hat for Monday's draw for the 5th round, and we'll kick on from there, because we had a decent cup run last season, and it's at the point now where we've got to start producing and being spoken about in the same tone as these clubs who are continuing to put silverware in the cabinet. I mean, even the filth from down the road can still do it when they're at their shittiest, and they've done it 3 out of the last 4 seasons with the FA Cup. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and of course, all the rumor and speculation surrounding Sanchez and leaving, and is it United? And it looks like he and Mkhitaryan are basically going to switch spots, and they go out and put 3 up in the first 13 minutes against Palace. It was just ridiculous. My phone was blowing up with updates, and every time I looked down, they were scoring again. I was like, good Lord, how is this? Could you suck anymore? I think I even messaged you guys or something. I don't know. So Sam, you're one of these folks that's looking forward, obviously, to next year. So I think you're maybe trying to plan the first match to try to get over there.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm trying to find a place to rent for a few weeks in August, and if I'm able to accomplish that affordably, I'm going to try and. When will the fixtures come out, Jared?
It's usually
it's normally June. June.
Yeah. So
right at the beginning of the World Cup.
Okay.
So Chicago Spurs asks, will you go to the cheese room?
No, I will not go to the cheese room. I will.
What if you're invited?
beg, steal, and borrow. Our friend Adam Osper was in the cheese room.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was like sitting 2 away from Daniel Levy. And I was winding him up on Instagram. I said, how are the canapes? And he's like, well, the shrimp was lovely. So, yeah, he was there in the Enoch box. I mean, literally. I mean, he sat next to the throne.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he shared this picture on Instagram with Levy, literally 2 seats down from him. So no, that's not for me. I'm dying to get a seat in that wall. That would be huge.
Oh, can you imagine?
Man, stadium looks amazing. Stadium looks so sick.
Yeah, there's more and more coming out about what these individual little pockets of the stadium are going to look like, what they're going to feature. I've seen little news clips of even some of the artist renditions, and people are recognizing things. One of the restaurants had computerized animated figures, whatever, and holding a menu, and it was the old original H from the 1800s on the menu. So it's right down to the little tiniest details. They are infusing what seems to be a lot of history with this brand new spaceship of a futuristic stadium. So I think that the club is going above and beyond to preserve a lot of that history. The news came out that they have, I forget what the word is, but they've relayed Bill's ashes. Very much common to, they made sure that it stayed under where the original White Hart Lane was in conjunction with the new stadium.
It's strange, man. I mean, us as Americans, and we've been to these fancy stadiums that we have littered all around the country, and we're used to this sort of luxurious aspect to watching sport. It's going to be strange. It's going to be strange,
yes.
Because football historically has been the working man's game, right? And you want to have, I don't know, a half pint of misery with your your football experience, and I don't know how it's going to be. I mean, I know it's going to be amazing. I know it's going to be architecturally phenomenal, and I'm hopeful that. I guess with all this glitz and all this fancy stuff, right? All this technology, at the least, the fans are going to be on top of the pitch. It's going to be super loud, and that'll make up for and give it that kind of, that kind of guttural feel, if you will, that kind of earthy feel that we all love. I mean, Timmy, when you were at the Lane, you had to. I mean, have you ever really experienced something like that in a U.S. stadium, like that kind of feel?
Never.
Yeah. So
and it begs a good question, Sam. And I'm going to pose it to Simon, since he's been doing this a very long time. When you think about what the new White Hart Lane is going to be, and you've had away days maybe at some of the bigger stadiums. I don't know if you've ever been to Old Trafford or Anfield or even the Emirates or whatnot, Etihad. There's a certain bit, to go back to Sam's point, of character, and you want a little bit of misery with your pint. There's nothing more miserable, oh by the way, than your first Premier League match being at Stoke in a 0-3 loss. Awful. And that stadium was crap. The surrounding area was garbage. But it still, it had that very much of a historic feel. So the question, Bode, Simon, do you think you're going to miss that? Just, yes, the stadium needed an upgrade. It was time and all that, but you're still going to miss it.
Yeah. Well, yes, and certainly the older generations will, because of going to your first game and then multiple games beyond that. So when it's gone, it's that nostalgic feel you miss, and it's just moving into a different decade as an adult versus the one you grew up as a kid, and you get used to different things. And I think you'll find that the new generations, that's all they're going to know. The new generation of Spurs fan, or whether it's a new generation of family, that's all they may know. So for them, it's their new journey of discovery. So you have to take the nostalgia out of it, and then it's a whole different thing. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, because you're going to make the comparisons, but there really can't be that many because of the technology that goes in the stadiums these days. I
can fully see myself, when I do go over next year, enjoying the new stadium, trying to remember White Hart Lane because I was only there the one time. But I